So pretty much Judas Iscariot, he set up a signal to lead them to Yahweh Shah by letting them know by whoever he kissed, that is the person who they call Yahweh Shah. So when he kissed Yahweh Shah, this will happen. It said, and for which he came to Yahweh Shah and said, Hail Master, and kissed him. And Yahweh Shah said unto him, Friend, wherefore art thou come? Then came they and laid hands on Yahweh Shah and took him. Right now, 51. And behold, one of them which were with Yahweh Shah stretched out his hand and drew his sword. And that person was Peter. And it says, and struck a servant of the high priest and smote off his ear. So Peter had chopped off the ear of one of the servants of the high priest. And this is verse 52. Then said Yahweh Shah unto him, unto Peter, right? And it says, Put up again thy sword unto his place. For all they that take the sword shall perish with the sword, because these guys was impulsive. They were used to being carnal. So Yahweh Shah had to oftentimes correct them and rebuke them because they only know how to be carnal. Okay, so now let's go to the book of Acts. Now before I get that, let me see. Let's go to 2 Corinthians 10:3. For though we walk in the flesh, we do not war after the flesh. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal. Now the word carnal, when we go into the word, it derives from the Latin continent, which means the flesh. So the weapons we have are not weapons that we can actually grasp and hold and touch physically. But it says, but mighty through the Most High, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah, to the pulling down of strongholds, casting down imaginations and every high thing that exalteth itself against the knowledge of the Most High, and bringing into captivity every thought to the obedience of Yahweh Shah. So our weapons is what? These scriptures. Like we're not walking around with no guns, no any weapons, because the weapon we have is these scriptures. We have faith that the Lord is going to step in for our defense of any circumstance that may take place. Okay. Now let's go to go into the Sicarii, uh, Acts 21. Now this is Acts 21:30. And all the city was moved, and the people ran together, and they took Paul and drew him out of the temple, and forthwith the doors were shut. And as they were, and as they went about to kill him, tidings came unto the chief captain of the band that all Jerusalem was in an uproar, who immediately took soldiers and centurions and ran down unto them. And when they saw the chief captains and the soldiers, they left beating of Paul. Then the chief captains came near and took him and commanded him to be bound with two chains, and command who he was and what he had done. Because they were trying to figure out who was Paul. Because, Paul, the spirit of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah was with Paul, but they were trying to get understanding, right? So verse 34, and some cried one thing and some another among the multitude. And when he could not know the certainty for the tumult, because it was a lot of chaos. Because when he grabbed Paul, that led to a lot of chaos, right? Now it says he commanded him to be carried into the castle. And he says, and when he came into the stairs, so it was that he was born of the soldiers of the violence of the people. For the multitude of the people followed after, crying away after him. And as Paul was to be led into the castle, he said unto the chief captain, May I speak unto thee? Who said, Can thou speak Greek? And he said, Art not thou Egyptian, which before these days made us an uproar, and led us out into the wilderness 4,000 men that were murderers? Now, let's go into that, right? Salakia. Art thou not the Egyptians, right? Now, let's go to the word murderer. Let's see what that say. Sakaros is where you get the word Sakari. Sicarios.
Strong's G 4607. Sicarios.
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 And an assassin, one who carries a dagger or short sword under his clothing, that he may kill secretly and treacherously anyone he wishes. Or it says a cutthroat, which is going back to the Sicarii. So Paul was mistaken to be a member of the Sicarii. You know. Hold on, let's go back. So yeah, verse 38. So Paul was mistaken for a member of Sicarii because they couldn't understand why there was an uproar and violence when Paul was grabbed up. And now the reason why it was an uproar because the people looked at Paul as a man of the Lord. So verse 39, but Paul said, I'm a man, which is a man, a Jew of Tarshish, a city in Cilicia, a citizen of no mean city, and I beseech thee, suffer me to speak unto this people. Now, verse 40, when he had given him license, Paul stood on the stairs and beckoned with a hand unto the people. And when there was made a great silence, he spake to them in the Hebrew tongue. It says, saying, let's go to the next chapter so I can finish that out. Men and brethren and fathers, hear ye my defense which I make now unto you. And when they heard that he spake in the Hebrew tongue to them, they kept more silent and said, I am really a man which is a Jew born in Tarshish, a city of Cilicia, yet brought up in the city at the feet of Gamaliel, and taught according to the perfect manner of the law of the fathers, and was zealous toward the Most High, yea, all this day. And I persecuted this day unto death, binding, delivering into prison both men and women. So Paul started off as persecuted the church, but he received his awakening. Okay. Hold on, let me see. Son. I got a little bit more time. So now